To solve quadratic equation today. So we've been learning how to factorize quadratic. Today we're going to learn how to solve a quadratic equation. So we're going to start with a simple problem. So yes, okay, good. So we'll do the question. So we use this rule. If two numbers multiply to get 0, that means either the first number is 0 or the second number is 0, right? That's pretty common sense. So we're going to use this rule to do the question. So we're going to do B first because B looks easier. Okay, let's do B first. So to solve this one, we're going to write either x minus 2 is 0 or the second factor is 0. This is using this factor. That's called the null factor law. So when times two things become 0, either the first factor is 0 or the second factor is 0. And then what you do is you're going to find what x is, x equal to 2 or x equal to negative 1. So that's why we need to know how to factorize so we can solve a quadratic equation. So what if it's not factorized? Then you have to factorize it. So in this case, you write x minus 4, x plus 2. That's factorization of the expression. And after you factorize, you say either x minus 4 is 0 or x plus 2 is 0. Which means that x is 4 or x is negative 2. Alright, any questions? So that's how we solve quadratic equation, is to factorize and then make the two factors equal to 0. Alright, we're going to solve more problems. So we're going to solve example 1. We're going to solve them using factorization. Okay? Alright, so the next one is you take out a common factor, which is x equal to 0. And then you're going to write x equal to 0 or x minus 2 is 0. Yep. And then you write x is 0 or x equal to 2. That's done. Two answers, 0 or 2. Alright, how about the next one? How do I factorize that? What formula do we use? We use the difference of two squares. So before we do that, make sure you write 15 as square root of 15 square, right? And then you write either x minus root 15 or x plus root 15 equal to 0. Therefore, you get either x minus root 15 equal to 0 or x plus root 15 equal to 0. Oops, forgot to write 0. 15 equal to 0, which means x is equal to root 15 or x equal to negative root 15. Right, any question? Yep. Yeah, so what you could do is, instead of doing this way, there's another method you can do. I think the factorization is long. If you have an x squared minus 15, it's easier if you just move the 15 to the other side. And then just go square root plus and minus. So that's quicker, isn't it? So maybe it's better to use this method rather than factorize. But this one you have to factorize. See, there's an x squared, there's a 2x, you have to factorize. And same for that one, you have to factorize. But this one, it can be done in two different methods. Okay? As long as the question doesn't say factorize, you can use this method. Alright, any question? Okay, good. Done. We're going to move on to the second page. Alright, second column. So the second column says, how about this one? Same thing. If you're going to solve by factorization, you move the 50 over and then write 2x squared minus 25 like this, and then do difference of two squares like that. And after you do difference of two squares, the 2 is not 0, so therefore you only look at the one with the x. This factor is 0 or x plus 5 is 0. So you get x is 5 or x is negative 5. Yes? Yeah, so for this one, because it's a number, you can also do divide by 2 first. So you can divide 50 by 2, which is 25. Yep. And then you square root like before, which is plus and minus 5. Same as this. Yep. Write it down. Okay, good. We're going to continue. There's more quadratic equation we have to solve. Okay, let's solve all of this. So we'll do example 2. So factorize this. Factorize. Okay, so you find two numbers which multiply to get 6, add to get -5. That will be -2, -3, equal to 0. And now, if you don't like writing this way, you can just straight away write x equal to 2 or 3, right? If you want to skip the middle step, or if you don't want to, you can always write the middle step, write x minus 2 is 0, x minus 3 is 0, x is 2 and 3, that. And the next one, same thing, factorize. But this one you'll get x plus 1, x plus 1. So you just get the same thing, x plus 1 is 0, x plus 1 equal to 0. So both are the same. So we can say this is one solution because they're the same, right? So one solution, or you can say it has a double root. Okay. So these numbers you just found, they are called solution. In other words, they are called double root. They are called roots. So if the roots are the same, we say it is a double root. Yep. Yeah, that's it. Because they are the same, you just saw x equal to -1. Yeah, just one solution. You don't have to write. Yeah, but I'm just giving you the names that you will learn in the future. They are called double root if they're the same. Okay, we've got a few more examples to do. Then we're done. One more page. This one has got another page to it. Okay, more questions. So there's some more type C. Okay, let's do them. So this one, what should I do first? Yeah, divide by 2, or you can factorize the 2 out first, which becomes a monic, right? And when it's a monic, it's easier to factorize. Adrian. So you get -4 plus 2. Now remember, when there's a 2 in front, you just ignore it. It doesn't contribute to the solution. You just write x minus 4 is 0, or x plus 2 is 0, right? Because 2 is not 0. Only this one can be 0. X equal to, say again, -2. Right, like that. Good. How about the other one? D. You have to use that long way. Yeah, so you have to multiply the 10 by the -3 first, which is -30. Find two numbers which multiply to get -30, add to get -13. Yeah. All right, what is it? No, because they multiply to get -30, so one of them has to be positive. Yes, -15 and 2. Perfect. All right. So you have to split the term into two parts, which is -15x plus 2x minus 3, 10x squared equal to 0. And then you factorize in pairs. So you get 5x out, which is x 2x minus 3. The second pairs, there's no common factor. You just write 1 in front. So when there's nothing, you just put 1. And then you factorize the 2x minus 3 out. And that's factorized. And once you factorize, you then use the non-factor law. You write either 2x minus 3 is 0, or 5x plus 1 is 0. And then you get 2x equal to 3. So this you get harder equation. and then divide by 2, 3 over 2. Or the other one is 5x equal to negative 1, therefore x is x equal to negative 1 over 5. Alright, all done. Alright, yep. Continue. Alright, done. Any question? All done, good. And then we've got 2 more examples to go through, then you can do the homework, do the exercise. Alright, let's move on to example 3. Example 3, solve the following quadratic equations. Okay, now what you need to do is to turn this into ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. So we can't solve it until we put it in this form. That's what we're going to do. So to do that, you have to expand first. So expand and move all terms to the other side. So you get x squared equal to 4x plus 60. And then you write x squared minus 4x minus 60 equal to 0. And then you factorize. How do we factorize? So find numbers which multiply to get negative 60, add to negative 4. That may be a little bit harder. So again, minus. Alright, works. Good. Okay, thank you. Let's keep going. So therefore you get, so you can see x minus 10 is 0. You just write 10. Just change the negative to positive and change the positive 6 to negative 6. You can do it like that. You don't have to show that one extra step of saying this factor is 0 and this factor is 0. Just change the sign. Yeah? It's quicker. Alright, one more question. Then we're done. Yep. Alright, how about the next one? If there's an x in the denominator, what should we do? Multiply out, yes. So multiply both sides by x, which cancels, so you get x plus 6 is x squared, quadratic equation. And how do we solve this quadratic? Move all terms to one side. So what I'm going to do, move the x squared to the left, so you get negative x squared. But because it's a negative x squared, it becomes non-monic, isn't it? It's going to be harder to factorize. So what we do is just multiply by negative 1 on both sides. Then it becomes a monic quadratic equation. Okay? Right, factorize and solve. Okay, Keegan, well, how do you factorize? Well, how about have a look? Minus 3 plus 2. Okay. And then you write x minus 3 equal to 0 or x plus 2 is 0. Yeah? And then you get x is 3 or negative 2. It's all done. Okay, so that's how we solve quadratic equation by factorizing. If you have any question, let me know. Otherwise, start exercise 8F today. Thank you.